Number 12 carries that a step further. Never worship effect. That means never hate, fear, or love effect. And that, of course, is a paradox too, because we say, oh yes, we love the members of our family. We say, oh yes, I love my dog. Ah yes, certainly, we're going to keep on that kind of love. But we are never going to love to such an extent that we cannot see the forms disappear and the new ones take its place. There is where idolatry comes in, the worship of forms. The very moment that a form becomes a necessity in our experience, we are placing our dependence, our happiness, our joy on a form instead of the invisible, which is the cause of the form. That is best illustrated in those experiences that some mothers have had. I had such an experience with a mother in the first year of my work, who told me that she had a 21-year-old son who got pneumonia, and finally the doctor told her that it looked as if there were no hope, and that she mustn't expect anything, that the doctor actually expected the boy to pass that night. He said, this is the crisis, but he says sometimes in a crisis it can go either way. But he says in this case it looks definitely as if it's going the wrong way, so don't be hopeful. And of course, mother-like, she began desperately to pray for the life of that boy. And then she realized that that was a sin. And she thought, why, Father, this was your son before he was mine. This was your life before it was my life. Who am I to tell God whither and what? God, you do your will with my son. I trust my son to you. He was yours before he was mine. Take him. And before morning, that boy was completely healed. He not only passed through the crisis, but he also had his complete healing. Do you see what I mean by form? By trying to grasp a certain form and hold on to it instead of releasing every form into God. We won't lose anything by it. The Master promises us that if we are willing to lose our lives, that we will gain life eternal. And that only means that if we will stop trying to grasp our lives as if we could hold on to them or demonstrate them or have them or lose them, and realize that all life is God's grace, then we will find our life eternal. We will not lose anything. No one can be righteous and bake bread. No one can ever give their lives or their family's life to God and then lose them. In the same way with body, we must not try to hold on to forms of body. Why? Well, we've already learned in previous work in this series that we are not body. Body is an instrument of our locomotion at this particular moment. The body is an instrument of activity for us. But we are not body. We are not fingers or hands or legs or hearts or brains. We are spiritual entity, and we have a body given to us of God, eternal in the heavens, and then instead of trying to hold on to this, we hold on to the truth of our own identity, and the body is maintained harmoniously. In the same way, money is an instrument for our use. To hate it, to love it, to fear it is nonsense. All human relationships are given to us for our use. It makes no difference whether they're relationships with parents, with husband, wife, children. They are all given to us for our activity in this phase of existence, and we are to understand them as such, love them as such, treat them as such. But remember, that our life is hid with Christ in God, not with some outer form.